Oh! Thank God.
What's
Right on
up?
cue. Right on. Look, the song just got to the. Oh, you were waiting to make a dramatic entry.
I
Lindsey
love it.
Horan. I love your shirt.
Thank you. It's a big day tomorrow.
It's a big day. It's the undercard for the NWSL kicking back in. The Premier League is back. Oh, my Lord.
Woo!
Haran, a huge Arsenal fan. We are going to go deep on the torture you are poised to inflict on poor Ferguson. When the season kicks back in, I'm a very formal gentleman, so let me just do a formal intro and say, oh, welcome everyone here, you gorgeous American people, to the Budweiser Happy Hour on Instagram Live with me, Rog, who is genuinely elated to be with you. I need you here with me and Lindsey Horan for this next half hour. It lifts the spirits, makes us soar. The series began with Budweiser wanting to encourage people to check in with one another. So here we are, checking in over a bud. Me, my first third one of the day, with one of the most gifted and dominant footballers in the American game, male or female. I revere her from Golden, Colorado, via the mighty Portland Thorns, and your World Cup winning US women's national team. It's a joy to sit here, drink a bud or two or three, with the great Haran. Lindsey, cheers to you.
Cheers. Thanks for having me.
My Lord, where are we finding you right now?
I'm in Portland, the greatest city for football in America.
You know what? I would not disagree with that. I get to travel all over the country and get to see just pockets of remarkable culture springing up in unbelievable places. But I do, whenever I'm in Portland, I always hope it's a taste of what the future of America will look like in 20 years' time. Tiny bit on the men's side, but for all women's sports all over the world when you get to go to a Thorns game.
Oof. Thorns games are the absolute best. Riveters, best fans in the world.
America. Football, thank God, as your jersey and my jersey suggest, is poised to come back into our lives. But we have lived 100 days without the game. What did you miss most about the sport you loved during the pause?
So much. I think it was just hard not being able to play and knowing that we were supposed to have a season and each day that, the first game, the home opener, I think that day really hit me hard, and I was just, I was back in Denver, and it's tough. But we were going through a pandemic, and you had to think about, everything else before the game. So I think it was kind of a tough shift for all of us athletes. And that means all athletes all over the world. So I think it was hard, but I think we got to improve in different ways and take whatever positive we could out of the situation.
One of the things that I've experienced over the past 100 days, that absence has made the game that I appreciate, made me appreciate it in new ways. Like when the Premier League kicks off tomorrow, even when Everton get absolutely destroyed at the weekend, I will love every second and almost savor that. I will never take it for granted.
Yeah.
And as a fan, I'll never just, I look at it in a different light. As a player, has the absence made you appreciate the game of football in different new ways at all?
Yeah, absolutely. I think my first training back here with the Thorns, I was all over the place. I was so excited. And I think it's going to be similar when we get back out in the Challenge Cup. I think, we obviously don't want to take this game for granted, but you only get a certain amount of time to play. In these past 2 to 3 months, it was kind of taken away from us. And I think it did speak a lot to me and how much this game means to me and brings all of us players together. And it's our passion. It's crazy how much it does mean.
Football is about to come back into our lives tomorrow with the Premier League. Big Arsenal energy. Even more importantly, June the 27th, the NWSL returns with the Challenge Cup. I've been fascinated by the vast number of professional footballers using their platforms over the past 3 months for the power of good at a time of chaos. Raheem Sterling has become the consciousness of the Premier League. Marcus Rashford, just 22 years of age. Take my hat off to Marcus. He's become the leader of the free world. Megan Rapinoe won the World Cup while fighting a cultural war last summer. Everything that's going on, does it make you think about using your platform in new and different ways?
Yeah, I think, a lot of the Rashford stuff came out even this morning. And I think even over the past few years, us younger individuals on the team, we didn't think that our platform was that important, and we didn't really have this voice that everyone wanted to listen to. And I think even during this time, it's been more apparent that it is important, and we do have an influence on a lot of people, and our voice does matter, and it helps, and it can help improve things. So I think, someone like Megan Rapinoe, who took that risk years ago, is very inspirational. And looking back at it now, it's like, she sacrificed a lot for what she did, and now we can look at it, and a few years later, we know that, we can make that stand, and we can use our voice and our platform, and all of these big athletes doing that. It's incredible.
That is the big takeaway. At the beginning of the pandemic, it felt like, you saw the real people, the good of people stepped up. You also saw people with the flaws. They were also exposed. Same for people, organizations. So the same with football clubs, clubs with values. Ultimately are the ones that are going to thrive in the future. And I respect hugely the Riveters, their connection with the Thorns and what they do. May football continue to stand for the force of good. Talking about the force of good, a year ago today, you were starting for the United States of America against Chile, a 3-0 win that secured qualification to the knockout rounds on the way to glory. That smile as I say that, with all this time off, because you are so focused on the league, focused on your team, focused on the Olympics, and then you had this moment of pause and they didn't pan through. Have you found your mind going back to France and processing memories of that World Cup glory?
Yeah, and I've been able to see like lots of things pop up on my Instagram or teammates sending me certain photos and whatnot, and it's truly remarkable. We don't get a lot of time to kind of just sit there and realize what happened and what was done and that we won. Or like people coming up to me and being like, "Can you believe you're a World Cup champion?" Like it kind of hasn't completely settled in. I don't get it. It's such a crazy feeling. But yeah, there are moments where I just kind of sit there and reflect on everything. And obviously my jersey that we celebrated with is hanging in my apartment in Denver, and with the goggles and everything. So that's the coolest thing to walk by every day.
Oh, I bet. A question from a GFOP, Mary Beth Boscon. When you saw the video of your parents, your beautiful parents, reacting to that first ever World Cup goal, I mean, you are someone, I love your story. You focused on the dream. You went about just with all of your being, making that dream come real. Huge sacrifice, unbelievable moments of success, tenacity in the face of failure, going again. I mean, I teared up when you scored your first World Cup goal. Thank God somebody captured your parents' reaction. It's a beautiful video. Search it on the internet. What was your reaction when you watch your parents watching you fulfill your dreams and scoring on the world's greatest stage in a United States jersey? What does it make you feel when you watch that?
I cried like a baby. I remember seeing it when we got on the bus after the game. My friend Jordan Angeli, shout out to her. She was the one that captured that video, and I think she got Sam's parents as well. But it is one of my favorite things from the World Cup when you mentioned the World Cup, seeing how excited and happy, and they don't know what's going on half the time. But when you score a goal, like they know what's going on. But it was it almost makes me tear up now. It was so cute.
Oh, it is a beautiful moment. Lindsey's mum and dad are just in the crowd. You score, they high five, other fans all over the place. Your dad is just hooting away. He's totally lost himself. And then Jordan, who's behind them, says, what just happened? And Lindsay's dad goes, and this just genuinely, when you watch it, it will make any of you who are parents or any of you who are kids, which I believe is all of you. Lindsay's dad shouts, "She scored! Our little girl scored!"
Oh.
And your mum gives two thumbs up, looks like she's about to cry. I've got to say, if that happened to me, I would watch that video all the time. To you and all Horans and America, a lot of viewers want to know your thoughts about the mighty NWSL Challenge Cup. Hello, Utah. A viewer, Anna Monzon Wenandi, wants to know, Linz, how do you feel mentally as you prepare to descend into the bubble?
Yeah, it's been a little rocky for me personally. I think when this first came about, everyone was just like, what is this? You know, and it's so new, and especially being, you know, the first professional league to, you know, start a league or a tournament, which also kind of goes unnoticed. But yeah.
By the way, that pisses me off. By the way, that
yeah.
pisses me off more than I can say. I know I'm not alone, but go on, keep going.
It's typical. But now I think getting back into things and being with the team and training again, I am actually very excited about this tournament. I think it's a cool way to show how, you know, we can manage ourselves in a tournament setting and not just a league, and how teams can do in that environment. I think it's going to be very odd, but it's going to be, you know, a cool change, and it's exciting. It's on CBS, and people can watch all access. And yeah, it's gonna be cool how you see teams manage players and manage their whole team in general, and go into kind of like a World Cup style tournament.
It is. It's a club World Cup with some of the greatest players in the women's game coming together to just try and conquer. You play the genuinely terrifying, I'm sure you don't agree, North Carolina Courage on June the 27th, opening day. Red Stars play Pride that day. GFOP at Jeffrey Creel asks, Lindsay, this is a dark question. What caused the Thorns drought at the end of the last season? 1 goal in 6 games. And has it been addressed? How do you understand it? How do you process it? What do you mentally say to yourself?
That is a dark question.
I'm a dark person.
Yeah, that's the one you chose? No, no, it's funny. I think pretty much everyone can say this after last season. It's hard after World Cup going back into a season and performing and going out and putting everything you have out there. And I think the Thorns took it pretty hard. I think a lot of players were all over the place, and again, I do agree. We were in a bit of a drought and we weren't playing at our best. And I think with that being said, we still made it to the semifinal. So that says a lot about our team and our mentality. And yeah. And the new jerseys are going to help us out this year. I'll tell you what.
New jersey. By the way, where were you when you said, because I've got to say, I just want to say, I have no relationship to the Thorns or this jersey or to Nike, but when I saw this jersey, holy crap, I've got to tell you, there's the 1994 US men's national team jersey, the denim, the stonewashed denim, which I think is a classic. I mean, I have to say, the Chicago Red Stars, you won't agree with me, their new jersey, the NWSL doing jerseys right. Those three jerseys, to me, there's a pantheon of great American jerseys that are up here, and then there's some incredibly terrible bloody American jerseys. It's a conversation for another day. But where were you when you first saw this beautiful jersey, and what did it make you feel when you saw it? Because it is, even though it's on my body and the worst representative for this jersey, it is stunning.
No, it looks good on you. I'll tell you what.
America.
The Thorns sent me it when I was home in Denver, and I got to unveil it, have a video. Ferguson started tearing it apart. They're normal, but it's so cool. I think it's number one in the NWSL, but I do agree there are certain teams that did a good job.
NWSL killing it in the design and football culture reality. At Audrey M. did. The last question was dark. This one taking us to a happy place. Which new teammate are you most excited to play with?
Ooh, that's a good one. It's hard. We have a big change this year. You know, we have players like Morgan Weaver, Sophia Smith coming in, Rocky. I think Rocky's a big one for me just because I'd never played with her and kind of stepping in here, she's going to be a midfielder with me and she's incredible. I think she is super intelligent on the ball and likes to play and knows how to play some good, football. So it was kind of seamless stepping in with her and playing, and I've had a really enjoyable time. So
Anyone else that come to mind that rhymes with Schmecky Bowerboom?
Uh, I mean, that goes without saying. Are you kidding me? We don't
It's
even need to
amazing.
talk about Becky.
It's amazing. She is like, I always say, if Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Virgil van Dijk just spawned an offspring, it would be, I mean, she is Ruth Bader Ginsburg in cleats in every way. And I cannot wait to see the two of you take the field together for your club team at Wendy Pitt. Another dark question. There's a little warning for you here. How is camp without Sonnet? Were you devastated, or shall I say, how devastated were you when she left for Orlando? It's hard to imagine life without the two of you playing on the same team. I got to be candid.
Yeah, it's funny. I probably talk to Sonnet 3 FaceTimes a day, just to keep our relationship normal. I get a random call like morning, probably lunchtime, probably dinner time. No, it is really weird. I never thought it would happen with Sonnet and I, and it was pretty depressing for us both, I think. But that being said, Sonnet's done so much for this club, and she has so much to offer. And this is getting serious, which never happens with me and Sonnet. But I'm really pumped for her being in a new club and seeing what she can do. It's not against us, but everyone else. I'm not excited about playing against Sonnet. Like, she's gonna be psycho. But no, I am pumped for her. I think she needs a change, and it will be good for her.
Just remember the Skechers scam when you play against it. Just put a pair of Skechers in your
I'm
locker
so
before you
mad
take
about
that
that.
field, and I bet you are. I'm
So
mad for
mad.
you. I'm Team Lindsey Horan. I've got to tell you, that was an elaborate con. That was
Years,
yes,
years of pranking.
yes. It was like a long con, and the thought of the two of you not being together is like Waffle House without smothered and covered. I can't even conceive it. So we will move on. At C. Treichman wants to know, what are you working on, Lindsey, this season as an individual player? Like, I'm working on my centre parting. What are you working on to keep focusing and improving?
Well, if I tell you, then everyone's gonna know what this new specialty is gonna be. I know.
No,
No, there's a lot of things that even this little mini off season that we had that I got to really focus down on, and I'm excited. I think for me, it's more just being impactful in the attacking third and seeing different ways that I can do that, whether it's a shot, a final pass, or whatever. I want to do more, and I think that's something that's big in my position and big in me as well.
last lofty question before we descend into the madness. At What Up with Wendy, when people have doubted you in the past, Lindsey Horan, how do you keep motivated to follow your dreams? It's a poetic question, a beauty. I think we all need to hear the answer to this.
Well, I think the doubt in general is such a huge motivation for me. I think that's something that like actually pushes me. I love when people doubt my abilities or something that I aspire to do or a dream of mine. I think it does push me, and I take it as motivation, as do a lot of athletes. So it's kind of great when that happens because we all like love that pressure and not like necessarily proving them wrong, but proving to yourself that you can make it happen and you can make your dream come true or whatever. So I think that's a cool way of looking at it.
How do you deal with self-doubt then? Because I always say to people, like, you cannot hate me more than I hate myself. So it's a very liberating perspective to take into the world. But how do you, as an elite athlete, if it does translate through to self-doubt, how do you handle that?
Yeah, it's tough. I think for all athletes, that's the number one thing that we battle against, and it's kind of just finding like what makes you come back to earth really, and makes you realize what you're doing, and like I always come back to, I'm playing the game that I love as my job, and it doesn't get better than that. So all this self-doubt and, struggles that you go through, it's all kind of part of it, but you're all doing it for, this game that you love, and, pushing yourself harder and harder. But you just have to remember, like, this is so much fun, and you love football. And I think that's something that I always kind of come back to, and remember.
Oh, Lindsey Horan, that was my favorite moment of the week by far, hearing you say that. That was beautiful human poetry. Genuinely is uplifting. We are about to descend into the Lindsey Horan fan-generated questions. It is a dark world of creativity and sketcher-inspired conspiracy theories. Here we go. At the Rian, Tamer wants to know, oh, Lindsey, if you weren't playing professional soccer, what occupation would you have?
Tennis player.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
What's your shot? What's your shot? Are you fearsome? Are you just savage?
No, I thought I was really good. Honestly, like I was just like, oh, I can play against my brother. If I can rally against him, like I'm legit.
Yeah,
I'm not.
Not a lot of people know this. Lindsey's brother's name is Roger Federer. Yeah, so you had designs
Wait,
coming
he's my
through.
favorite tennis player.
Oh, he's one of the very few good Rogers. There's like me and Goodell and Clemens. We're all awful people. And then there's like Roger Federer is just like holding it up for the rest of us. Was that when you were coming through, were you like, you know what, I can do this? And to what age?
For tennis?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I started pretty late in my career, my tennis career. It's not like I ever was trained. I just like started, playing with my brother. And then I was like,
I love your mentality. I got this. At Audrey M wants to know, if you were an ice cream, what flavor would you be? It's the same question as the tennis one. What flavor ice cream would Lindsey Horan be?
Well, when you say ice cream, it's kind of more like what flavor do I want right now, which would be, I know, like a nice like chocolate chip cookie dough.
Oh my Lord!
S'mores?
Now you're talking my language. I'd take some honey ice cream. No one was asking, but I would be Budweiser flavor. Ariel Butler, not a question, but can you tell Lindsey that my roommate and I named our quarantine beer pong team the Horanimals? Better than winning a World Cup, that, right?
That is quality.
It is.
Good
it is. Balls back is all I'll say to you. Lots of questions about dogs or dog. Your French bulldog puppy, the mighty Ferguson, the best Fergie since Sir Alex. Is Ferguson around? And at Caitlin Shaw wants to know, how has life changed since becoming a dog owner?
Oh, life is so much better. Ferguson is around. Thank God he's taking a nap right now because he could have been barking the whole time. Ferguson is incredible. He just makes life like that much better. I get to come to him every day. I mean, and he's just like a positive vibe whenever I need it.
You know what? I'm on the brink. I'm on the brink of becoming a dog owner. Apart from the fact that I'm reckless and totally, but like hearing people like you talk about that life change in that moment,
it's also a French bulldog too. They're the best.
Oh, it's the greatest thing out of France since. Oh, you know what? I can't think of anything else. So it's just Ferguson. At Ms. Havade want to know. These are the hard-hitting questions that everyone in the football world is asking. Who would win a game of one-on-one, Ferguson or Emily Sonnet's dog, Bagel Bongo?
Well, it's just not fair. Ferguson's not.
Good answer.
He's very agile, but Bagel's pretty quick. But Ferguson can dribble a ball if you really get him to try. So I don't know. It might be tough.
By the way, I like the way you've clearly thought this one through before I even asked it. There's been some time spent thinking about this one. Emily Curdes, how excited is Lindsey about Arsenal's return tomorrow against Manchester City? And how how excited is Ferguson to watch his first Arsenal game? Let's discuss both. Arsenal first.
Arsenal. I mean, we got a tough game tomorrow, but This is how excited I am. I had to put on the jersey for this, especially. Yeah, I'm pumped. And Ferguson, although his name is Ferguson, he is an Arsenal fan. Okay. Just making that clear because I have gotten crap for it. He's excited. That's why he's napping right now, getting ready for it.
But I gotta say, poor dog has no idea what he is in for as an Arsenal fan. Like, all that hope, all that incredible hope, and that conjoined twin, shattered hope, is just like, you know what? As an Everton fan, I say game, respect game. And now we're going to descend into the true madness of NWSL fans. I've discovered in the past few weeks of doing this, NWSL fans, more than any league's fans I engage with, they love nothing more than thinking about their players, the players they love and adore and revere and respect and admire. Thinking about those players in bar fights. So are you ready for this, Lindsey Horan?
I don't know.
Let's do it. Angel Hannon. Lindsey, you're sitting in jail. I don't even know. I'm always like, how did she get there? What happened? Give me the backstory. Angel, you're sitting in jail. You get one phone call. What national team teammate do you call? And who you're choosing and why. So think about that for a second while I just mentally picture Lindsey Horan with that big that plexiglass in between you on the phone, and you've got that who's visiting you on the other side, and you're like, I need the nail file. I gotta chisel my way out of here. Who is it?
Is this someone I'm calling to like help me get out?
Yes. Yeah.
Kelly
Who is that? Whoa! You know, Kelly's probably in there with you, but why does she come to mind?
I just like Kelly somehow like is able to manipulate everyone into whatever she thinks is right, and I think she would make friends with everyone in there, with all the officers, and be like, and I'd be out within an instant. I think she would just know what to do.
That is so true. That is so. I love that. Kelly O'Hara able to manipulate people, aka inspire them. Inspire them.
Yeah, manipulate is a bad word.
Yeah, no, you meant inspire. Just help them transcend their current reality and shift calmly towards another one. At Bagels Pride, as you know what, as always, here's the big question. This is the one that people tune in to hear. Which 3 US women's national team teammates would Lindsey want to back her up in a bar fight? This is the classic question on this show, and why. There's a bar fight going down. Probably the Canadian national team just wailing in there. Probably Christy Sinclair again, just wading in, causing the trouble. I don't know. But there's a bar fight going on. Which 3 do you want to be like, Linz, don't worry, we got this? And you're like, you know what? Normally I protect myself, but you guys wade in.
That is tough. First off, Sink would not start that bar fight. Me and her would be on the same side. Kelly would be up there.
Yeah, Kelly.
Yeah. Kelly's my whole Instagram live. Yeah.
Kelly, she started it.
Yeah. She 100% started it. Yeah. She'll probably finish it.
Yeah. And somehow you end up in prison. I don't understand this. Go on. Sorry, Kelly, number 1.
I think Julie. I mean, like, what? You have to take Julie.
Why Julie? I agree, but why Julie?
She's just like, she will smash people. Yes. I see her on the field, and it's going to translate into the bar.
She loves the taste of her own blood in her mouth, Julie.
Yeah.
She's that person. God, she lives for it. One more. You don't even need one more, but one more, just for the hell of it.
I don't know. I think I would randomly take Alex. I think she can do it for me.
Alex Morgan?
Yeah.
Wow.
Before the pregnancy.
Mind is blowing. Genuinely minded. You think she's the finisher. She's the closer.
Yeah, I think I'll need her there.
I've got to tell you, Becky Sauerbrunn to me is always like that quiet one at the back who just like goes Hulk smash, just erupts, goes from silent to proper bonkers. She would be the one, genuinely, who would like end all of us. We've been asking everyone, Mount Rushmore, going to be carved properly, no med, just the 4 most legendary US women's footballers of all time. Whose faces, if you were an incredible carver, whose faces would you be carving on it? Who should be up there in your mind? Who are the 4 greats of US women's national team soccer on whose shoulders everyone else stands?
This is tough. I have two.
Do you want me to play the banjo for time?
I have two for sure. Lauren Cheney.
Cheney! Yeah.
100%.
Because.
She is the most underrated midfielder of all time.
Right.
Yeah. And I played with her maybe twice, and it was amazing. So I definitely put Cheney. I'd put Becky up there. Becky has to be up there.
Becky Sauerbrunnen.
Yeah.
The greatest. Now a Thorn. Two more.
I think you have to put Mia. Mia started it all. And one more. This is tough. Oh man, I'd put Tobes up there.
Wow, amazing. What an amazing decision. What a piece of sculpture that would be. Just explain why in your own words so we're not projecting.
For Tobin or for all four?
No, for Tobin.
Tobin is one of the biggest inspirations I've had in football. Her and Pino actually. But I think Tobin does things differently. She's one of the most creative players that you'll see in the women's game, and I don't think you see enough of that. And she's just awesome. Just an awesome human being and someone you always want on your team.
That's amazing. And Emily Sonnet has just clocked off this Instagram live. She was hoping to get the
She
nod.
knows better. Her time will come.
You'll just sculpt a giant sketcher. Hey, last couple of questions. This one via email from Rebecca Greek. Lindsey Horan, watching you play is delightful. Thank you for all your grit and tenacity on the pitch. This is Rachel Greek speaking, but honestly, Rebecca Greek, but it could be all of us on this. I mean, I think everyone who's on this Instagram live and just listening to my bloviating, they're all here because you inspire them in a remarkable way. And I love this question because it's a question that's incredibly timely for the now. How do you keep your ferocious spirit alive? What do you feed how do you summon tenacity?
Well, I think us as professionals, we always look at what is to come and what we can improve on, and making sure that's a constant thing, that we never stay content, and there's always something more that we could be doing. And I think that's a big one for me. I think, you look at us and we just achieved so much winning a World Cup, but there's always something more. And, the Olympics is a huge thing, and obviously it was postponed this past summer, but now we have a whole year to prepare for it. So look at it that way, that we can get that much better before it. So I think it's looking at it in those ways.
What is the quality that you most rely on that's empowered you in this journey? As an American player that's dared to dream big dreams, made them come true with hard work, huge sacrifice, singular path. If you were to say one quality has gotten me, Lindsey Horan, from Colorado, big dreamer, to where you are today, what would that be?
I think for me personally, it was work ethic. I think that was the reason I'm here. I think everything I did as a young player has put me in these situations. Got me to PSG. Got me into the national team. It was this work ethic that I developed when I was 12, 13. And it's continued on now. And it's such a simple thing to say, but it's true.
I mean, I'm just thinking again of your dad turning to the camera and saying, Lindsey just scored, my little girl. And that is the most beautiful human thing of all. Last question for you. There's lots of people who are caught in the struggle right now. There's real suffering across our nation. Lindsey Horan, you are an inspiration. You really, really are. I've got to say, I interviewed you right before the last World Cup, and your story stayed with me in every single regard. And I feel I understand that so many people feel humanly inspired by your story, your journey, your football, and what you have given to create it. So I'm going to cede the floor to you for the last word. Can you finish with some words of optimism? What do you draw strength from in these challenging times?
Yeah, well, thank you for saying all that. That was very nice. It's been hard. I've actually thought about this myself even today, and it's funny. There's so many little things that I've learned to now take positives from, and even during these past 2 or 3 months, I thought it was so easy to get in this negative way and start thinking so badly upon certain things and how much we're missing out on and what's going on in the world. And I think for me, it was just taking so many positives out of each thing that I was doing. And something so simple as, tomorrow Arsenal plays Man City. I think that is such a big, exciting thing. And I know it's kind of crazy as we've just gone through a pandemic and there's so many questions and concerns, but I think it's something that makes me so happy to watch football again, and it's a positive light in my life. So I think, looking forward to that and getting excited for it and trying to now move towards these positive things to come, and hopefully the world will change again and things, will get better. But I think we need to start taking a lot of positives out of certain things now.
I've got to agree with you utterly. I mean, Jurgen Klopp, before the pandemic really kicked in, he said we have to understand football is the most important, least important thing. And the reality is it plays a critical role. I cannot wait for the Premier League to come back tomorrow and for the NWSL to come back on June the 27th. That feeling of connectivity that we have as a world, human beings with their differences coming together and savouring those human emotions of David Luiz capitulating at the last to hand Manchester City a disastrous victory, or Everton in the last minute, Origi scoring to break my heart. It does not matter. It makes us feel alive. I say, Lindsey Horan, when you play and you can hurt opponents in so many ways with your decision making, your creativity, you give us so much joy. You really, really do. I raise my blood in joy and tribute to you, to life, to love, to your Thorns of Portland, to the Riveters, and to all the players and teams taking the field in the NWSL Challenge Cup. We need it. We need it incredibly badly. June the 27th cannot come quick enough. Especially big love to all Horans, your mum and dad. Go and watch that clip, America. Go and watch it now. We'll be back on Instagram next week. You are amazing. Thank you, Lindsey Horan.
Thank you. Oh, thanks for having me.
Any time. Courage, America. What's up?